Hey boys and girls, welcome back. We are continuing our lessons on elapsed time. We have been working with elapsed time to the hours. So simple, straight to the hour, elapsed time. Now we're going to move on to a little bit trickier. We are going to be moving on to the half hours. So we're going to be doing 30-minute intervals. And what we want to get started with is remembering which hands we are working with. And so remember that trick that I taught you yesterday? If we were to write out the word hour and write out the word minute, our hour hand is shorter than our minute hand, because the word hour is shorter than the word minute. And remember, we're going to be starting with our hour hands. Let's get started. We are going to be starting with Ronnie. Ronnie begins playing football at 5 o'clock and stops at 6:30. How long did he play for? Good question. So when we're working with elapsed time, we need to remember that first we need to understand what time are we starting at, what time are we ending at, to figure out how much time has passed. So in our story, Ronnie begins football at what time? Very good, 5 o'clock. So we're going to put 5 o'clock for our starting time. We know that this is where we are going to set our clock at. Oops, I'm sorry, 5 o'clock, not 5:30. All right, and we also learned what time Ronnie stopped playing football. And that was at 6:30. So I'm going to write 6:30 on our ending time. The first thing that we need to do is set our time, our clock, to 5 o'clock. This is when Ronnie started. So let's go ahead and set our clock here. I need to have the hour hand on the number 5. And I need to have my minute hand up here at the 12. That says 5 o'clock. Now what we're trying to find out is from 5 o'clock to 6:30, how much time has passed. So remember, when I make one complete circle, that is 1 hour. So let's do that now. We want to get from 5 o'clock to 6. So I'm going to go ahead and move my minute hand around the clock, and I get all the way to the top, which means it's the next hour. So from 5 o'clock to 6 o'clock, 1 hour has passed. Now, did our story problem say that Ronnie stopped practice at 6 o'clock? No. We know that our ending time is 6:30, so he's not done yet. We need to continue counting until we get to 6:30. So if this was 1 hour, and I have to move my minute hand around the clock until it gets down to the bottom to say 6:30. How much time has passed from 6 o'clock to 6:30? Right, 30 minutes. From 6 o'clock, we went 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 minutes. So if we started at 5 o'clock and Ronnie stopped playing football at 6:30, that means that he spent 1 hour and 30 minutes at football. You ready to try one more? All right, Ronnie, you're all done. Our next contestant on the fun elapsed time game is going to be Karan. Let's see what Karan's doing today. Karan starts his homework at 4:30. Good job, Karan. He studies for 2 hours and 30 minutes. Wow. When does he finish? Okay, let's start with our starting point. Do we know what time Karan starts studying at? Right, we know that he starts at 4:30. So I'm going to put this time over here. Our starting time will be 4:30. That's where I'm going to set our clock to. Do we know his ending time? He studies for 2 hours and 30 minutes. When does he finish? We don't know this part yet. But what we do know is how much time has passed from when he started until he finishes. We know that he studies for 2 hours and 30 minutes. So that's our elapsed time. So over here, I need to write 2 hours, 30 minutes. This is how much time has passed from his start time to his end time. So what we're solving for is, when does he stop studying? The first thing that we need to do is to set our clock to 4:30 when he begins. So let me go ahead and start this at, 4:30. Our hour hand's on the 4. Our minute hand's at the bottom. Now, we need to move 2 hours and 30 minutes around the clock. So, I'm going to start moving my minute hand, and then when I make a complete circle, that's going to be 1 hour. Let's do that now. We're going to start at 4:30. We're going to move all the way around the clock. What time is it now? 5:30. That has been 1 hour. Remember, he studies for 2 hours. So we have to go around the clock one more time. Go around the clock. That is 2 hours. Now what time is it? 6:30. Awesome. Now, he studies 30 more minutes. 2 hours and 30 minutes. We know that 30 minutes is half of our clock. So we're already studied for 2 hours. He studies for 30 more minutes. That's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 more minutes. What time does Karan stop studying? Yeah, he stops studying at 7 o'clock. Wow, Karan, you must be tired. So our ending time is 7 o'clock. If Karan starts at 4:30, he studies for 2.5 hours. That means he stops studying at 7 o'clock. I hope you're ready to practice.